Two different knives, okay? They're a little bit different style. They both have a serrated edge blade. And this one over here has an inside radius, then it has an outside radius. This one has the flat and straight, and then it has the tanto blade. Okay, don't be scared to buy these knives because you don't know how to sharpen them. How am I going to sharpen those knives? I'm going to show you right here how to sharpen both of those knives, and I'll show you how to do it with a very, very pocketable, easy to carry, lightweight, almost indestructible little sharpener. And actually, I'm just going to pull this one right now out of my pocket because I carry it all the time. Okay, that would be the old orange one. I've had it in my pocket about 6 years. I demo it all the time. This is my demo at the gun shows. You walk up to my table, you're going to find a red one and an orange one. I will demo the orange one most because, quite frankly, I want to show people you can carry them basically forever. Your sharpeners versus my sharpeners. I'll use a sharpener, I don't know, 100 times more than you'll ever use a sharpener. And so if I can use my sharpeners doing the demos at the shows and still not wear them out, you'll carry them forever and not wear them out. You know, you might lose it, friends will steal it, you loan it to somebody, they'll tell you that it's gone, they lost it or something, you know. But they probably still have it. You'll see it down the road and they'll pull it out and forget who they pulled it out in front of, you know. So let's go to this one first. You've got your serrated edge blade. You have the larger rounded holes. They're never round, they're always oblong. And then you have these V notch, okay, and they're an oblong too. They're not just a V, they're actually oblong sideways. There is no such thing as a round hole on a serrated edge. There's never has been, I don't think there ever will be. So as far as taking a rat tail file and poking at it, that's not your most favorite way to do it, but it's about the only way you can do it. So right now I'm going to show you how to sharpen the larger round ones, the smaller round ones, the points, and larger round. Then I'll show you how the straight, flat blade, and then the tanto part, which is also just another flat, straight blade. And if you had a stone trying to work on this part of it, you know, that's kind of tough. And then up like this and work on it without taking the tip off of your blade. Okay, so what we do is I'm just going to make a pivot out of my thumbs and work at it. I'll turn it here so you can hopefully see better. There's a bevel on there, okay, and that's about a 12 to 14 degrees, so about like this. Don't tip it up trying to get to the cutting edge. Tip it down like this. Make a pivot out of your thumbs, right thumb under your left thumb. My left thumb is anchored to the knife right here pretty good. Tip your left thumb up, put your right thumb under it. Now I'm 90 degrees to the blade. I'll tip it back here and show you. I'm not off in an angle like that or back here like that. I'm right angle 90 degrees, 12 to 14 degree bevel on the cutting edge, and I'm just going to start going down through there like this. Set it down left, slide it right, set it down left, slide it right, set it down left, slide it right, set it down left, slide it right. Just like that. Don't push too hard. You can move right along quickly. And then slow down. Go down through the little round ones, the little ones, the points. And then do it again here. And then the next one is a round. Okay, the larger rounded, which is actually oblong. Just like that. Go right on down through. Just keep working your way right on out. You can sharpen any style blade. I've never found a serrated edge blade with the exception of one. I think, I can't think of the name of the knives. There is a knife blade that I've seen that gets sold at the shows and stuff that I can't sharpen because it's actually a square hole. It's not a round hole at all. So just like this, go right down through there. I'm covering up the first point so that I don't hook it like this, cover it up, bump my finger and go right on out. Match the bevel 12 to 14 degrees, turn it approximately 20, 30, 45 degrees. Work along like this, flip it over and do the same thing. Don't push too hard on it, let it work, don't make it work. And then like this, and then light, and then even lighter, and then real light. Flip the knife every pass. And you're supposed to do this about 20 times, 10 on both sides. And believe it or not, touching this thing 10 on both sides takes a little while. So now on the tanto blade here, I'm going to set it down and just go along like this. Don't press too hard, let it work, don't make it work. 12 to 14 degree bevel, turn the sharpener, let it work, don't make it work, don't push too hard. If the knife is just absolutely dull, you can't cut anything with it, then you're going to need to put a little more pressure on it. If the knife will catch your thumbnail at least a little bit, then you don't have to put much pressure on it. It's just a matter of doing what I'm doing right now. You know, set it down in the back, slide it forward, set it in the back, slide it forward, set it down in the back, slide it forwards. Okay, now I'm just going to go along real easy, real light, just like this, all the way out around the tip and right off the point, just like that on the tonto blade. And no, it does not take that point off there. You'd have to work on it for a long, long time to ever take that point off there. So let's see how this knife cuts. Okay, this one, as new, was really dull because I just kind of toyed with it a little bit. That's not too bad at all right there, but this part of it's going to need a little bit more work. So let's see if I can make it look better. Okay, that's not too bad, but you have to coax it. I can hear it cutting, so let's work on it just a little bit more. All right, let's demo the long handle for a second here. Just like that. Don't push too hard on it. Just like that, just like this. I'm adding just a tiny bit more pressure because that knife was actually a lot more dull than I thought it would be, being brand new. Just like that, like this. All right, now let's touch it light and see what we come up with. And that knife is actually, that's better. There's no question it's better. But it's really thick back here. What they did is they tipped it up to a real steep angle. Whoever sharpened this knife wasn't careful to get it down to about a 12 to 14 degrees like it should be. And the other side is the same. It is so steep actually that the distance from the cutting edge to the heel is so small because it's tipped up. If it was down around 12 degrees, 14 degrees, if it was tipped down, this would be a long distance, you know, say a 1/16 of an inch from the cutting edge back. So this knife is actually going to require a lot more work doing this. And I might just make that a separate video actually, and really kind of, I call it reef on it, you know, lay on it a little bit and cut that blade a little bit. So let's see. And I think I'll take that one from dull to sharp on another video. I try not to make these videos too long. Okay, and that's better. It's getting there. All right. This is Brad, sharpensbest.com. That's the one knife that we wanted to show you how to sharpen it. And then we got another knife here, and it's really kind of weird in a way because it has the bigger rounded holes, all right, and then it has the smaller ones, the smaller notches, and it goes out to about here. That's an inside radius. So in other words, it's the same radius all the way across, but they ground it different. Then it has kind of a tonto blade, only it's a rounded drop point style knife. And so you actually have 1, 2, 3 outside radius, inside radius, and serrated edge. And you might go, well, how do I sharpen that? Well, we go down through here like this, and that's how I sharpen the rounded holes, the bigger ones. Set it down left, slide it right, set it down left, slide it right. Move it back left, set it down, slide it right. And then same thing, nothing changes, only you slow down and you do the little tiny ones. Now this inside radius, we're going to set it on 12 to 14 degree bevel like this, and then slide it. We're going to turn it a little bit, slide it from the back towards the front, from the hilt to the tip of the knife, just like that. I'm putting just a little bit more pressure on it just in case that knife was also more dull than some of the other knives that I've used. Just like this, just like that. Turn it that way, turn it over. Okay, I can feel that it's starting to have a little bit of drag, and I think that's the wire edge developing on the knife. So just like this. Now I'm going to turn it and go out here right on that outside radius. I can turn it this way and go right on around, point it towards the point of the knife. You can turn it over and come back this way. You can actually flip it in your fingers like this. That way you're sharpening going both directions. And then turn it over. If you want to, set it on the table like this. Slide it out that way. Work on the tip of the blade like this, right out at the point. Do not tip it up trying to get to the cutting edge. You'll dull your knife. Then you're going to call me and say this thing doesn't work at all. It dulled my knife. Believe me, guys, it's operator error. They work. People get impatient and they don't understand. I get people at the gun shows all the time say, well, what kind of angle, like 35 or 45 degrees? And I'm thinking, no, not even close. That tells me that they really don't have a clue how to sharpen a knife. So keep it down around 12 to 14 degrees. That'll give you an overall of 24, 25 degrees. If you take the 12 and 12, would be 24 degrees overall. and that's a good, decent cutting edge in my opinion. It'll be a little bit thick, which means it's tough, but yet it's still sharp, so it cuts well. Okay, now we just go around here and right on up, just like that. Go a little bit slow, it'll come up, stay right on the blade and go right off. Just like that, just like this. Do it again. Okay, let's see what we have now for sharp on this blade. Okay, that's pretty good. And that's pretty good if I just hold it right. And I bent the paper a little bit. Oh, I gotta fix it though, come on. There you go. Right out to the tip, so let's come down here, see if we can get a better view. And right out to the tip, that's pretty good. So sharpening, don't be afraid to buy these knives. If you go on my website, watch the YouTube videos how to sharpen them. One sharpener sharpens every kind of a blade. It sharpens the serrated edge blade, the inside and the outside radius. So either one of these knives would be a good choice to buy if you're just thinking about how I'm going to sharpen them. They both have a clip. This is your pocket clip and this one has the pocket clip. They're kind of a military style blade, or excuse me, handle. I think they're good knives. This one does have a lanyard. This is Brad Buckner, sharpensbest.com. You take care and have a good day.